What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I just want to do my June recap. As you can see, I am up 8,200 this month of June, which is my biggest month so far that I've ever made. Hopefully we can keep this consistent. And my majority of my gains have come from Tesla. As you can see, 7,500 this month, just in the last 30 days trading Tesla. TQQ 339, SQQ shorting the market 200 bucks, and then a little bit $110 from Amazon. So that's a nice move right there. And then year to date, we are up $17,155. So we've been on a roll, and Tesla has made up the majority of those gains, as you can see, just comparing the year to date to the month of June. So I just want to bring up the chart. I'll show a little how I've been making these trades, and just to give you a little perspective on kind of how I've been making these gains, and hopefully you can learn something as you're watching this. All right, guys, so this is a Tesla chart, and when I trade, I mainly look at, I like to bring up like the 1 month and see where the overall trajectory is. And I like to put on the 4-hour time frame. And just from this, you can see we had this massive run up from 150 all the way up to 230. But I like to focus on where supply and demand is. So what I mean by that is I'll draw text boxes so you can see, and this will be probably a longer video just explaining, but this area of red is your supply, which means that there is resistance. And then you have your demand, which will be down here, which is going to be where your support will be. And let me actually change this box because I didn't realize that I just did that. We'll get rid of this just so the people that don't understand supply and demand can just have a reference as we're looking at this. So here's my supply, here's my demand, and you can clearly see that Tesla is resistant around this 279.56 level. And I like to always, when I trade, I want to see where is support, where is supply, and where is it bouncing off of. So you can tell that when it breaks these levels and it retests, like just right here, 238, it really tested 2 points above, starts heading up above. I know where I'm trading, which zone. So then when I start zooming in, I know that my range is from 238 to 278 right now, and that helps me determine where I'm going to scalp. So now if I zoom in on like the 5-day, for instance, I was drawing, which you can see right here. Let me zoom in so it's a little more clear. I was drawing supply and demand areas. So you'll see right here, I had supply. And let me just move this up so you can see it a little better. There's supply, this little blue area. And then I was drawing demand, which was right down here. And this demand area is where I am targeting to make my entries. And if I'm watching it and I see that it breaks this level, I want to see when it sells off and breaks this level here at 242, I want to see where it is going to bounce off of. Because remember, look, here's the 238 level, and when we zoomed out to the 1 month, this was our level that we were watching. And you can map out these levels by going even further out and finding where points of resistance was, which you can clearly see right here is another demand zone. Because look right here, this is where Tesla could not break the 240 and then sold off all the way down to 100. So the next time it gets to this 240 level, you want to see how it's going to react. And my point is, once it broke that 240 level, this is called the break and then the retest. So no wonder buyers are buying this 240, because they look back in the past and you can see that there was clearly a resistance level here. So that's really where I try to make my buys. So now even today, I didn't make any trades today, but you can tell right here, if you were just trading and you only could see this part of the trading right here, and then you saw that we had the sell-off and then it started bouncing at 261, in an intraday, this could potentially be a demand zone. But if it breaks, that is going and it starts selling off, If it starts to recover, this is where you want to see if it's going to start resisting here because it just broke that supply. So look at here, all day it's just been holding. And then now in the post market, probably because it's the weekend, it started selling off. But if you make a horizontal line here, just playing this, you could have just traded the bounces, and then you know where your stop loss is because you're going off of your previous support level. Now I try to use at least the 5-day to do this, but it's just something to think about when you're actually trading to see where Tesla is having resistance, and when it breaks through like this area, if it breaks above like it did here, the 261 right here, you want to see it's a good spot to retry the buy at 261 to scalp. And then I'll make my entry and scalp for 50 cents to $1. And that's how I try to do it, just trying to make $500 a day. Anything green, to be honest, that's not red is all gravy in my eyes. So that's pretty much how I do it. I look for supply, I look for demand, I use the 6-month chart to a year, and you draw out these levels. And then when you have your levels from far away that you can see where resistance or support, and it goes back up, but every time it breaks that level and then it retests the level, and then if it breaks it, you want to see if it's going to, like a magnet, go back to it. And then I try to trade in those pockets. And when I trade in those pockets, that's where I seem to have the most success so far. So that's the goal. That's what I'm trying to do. And so far with Tesla, that's been working. Now we have to always keep in mind you have to follow stop loss, because if you're blindly buying supply and demand zones that you think are real, it might not be real to every other trader. And you have to pay attention that if your level breaks, like here's a good example, there's resistance here at 261, and then you're watching it here for the break of 261, for the retest of 261. If it doesn't hold 261 and starts selling off, you need to cut your losses. So that's how I do it with the strict stops. I mark out my supply and my demand, and then I follow the stop loss right below it. But not too close where you would get stopped out, meaning like this wick right here. Do you see this thin wick? The 262 to 261.66, that's like 30 cents. I try to give myself a little bit more than that, like 50 cents to $1 risk. And I try to scalp for like a 2-to-1 R, meaning that you're risking, like if you're trying to make $1, you're risking 50 cents to get that scalp. And that's how I've been doing it so far, and it's been working. So I'll update you. We'll see what happens. I'll keep up the weekly updates if you like. And I just like posting my progress because I think it's good for you guys to see some transparency with live traders on YouTube. And I'm not a professional by any means, but I'm definitely trying to get there. But so far, we're profitable, and we'll see if we can maintain it as it goes. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. This is my channel. Pretty cool, up to 400 subscribers now, which is awesome. I'm just going to continue to keep posting these videos, hopefully like the weekly and monthly transparency. Let me know in the comments section if you do. And if there's anything you want to learn or you want just a review on, just post in the comments and I'll make a video on it.